friends? It is the 15th of April and we are currently at the shop doing some work that will be featured in a later video. But if you hear drilling, don't worry, nobody is being tortured other than Robert. So this was several days ago, doing more vertical stabilizer action, as the title of the video says. It was, this was also the final day of sorting the teeny tiny things into all of the bins. You see, I am not here right now. I have actually left Robert unsupervised at the shop for this scene. I had to go out and buy more bins because we have so many teeny tiny things. 28 different types of rivets. It's insane. But I know this is only the beginning, and I'm looking forward to it. It's a sweet torture. I don't mind too much. Anyhow, you see that Robert has one of the cameras set up on the table. I have downloaded everything pretty much every night or in the morning when I get up, and I cannot find the footage from these on the table shots for several days. I have no idea what has happened to them. So who knows, maybe they're hiding on my computer somewhere. I'm not going to stress out about it too much because we do have the GoPro, and you'll see in a couple of videos that I've actually brought out my big camera to do some filming. So that's going to be exciting, along with our fancy new mics that we have. So let's see. I'm back from my shopping adventure where I managed to get the last bin thing at Harbor Freight, and I bought a fancy new step stool because I'm short and I still haven't used it yet. It's actually folded up underneath the utility trailer here in the shop. But I digress. Anyhow, you see Robert going along. He's clecoing. It looks like he's also doing some countersinking. And this is all part of the inside of the vertical stabilizer that was in the last video. We had to take it apart to do work on it because we have to do dimpling and some riveting, and oh yeah, we also had to prime some parts, which you'll see in this video also. Robert made a little mobile paint booth that so far it's been pretty good. We've had nice weather, except for the past couple of days. It's been really, it's been my favorite kind of weather, kind of overcast and dreary. And yeah, so we had some good weather for painting. It was a little windy, but we, handled it. So yeah, like, it's been several days since these videos were done, and I just know I feel like I missed so much of this, so going back and watching this has been nice, because my back was turned and I was organizing these things for hours. So to give you an idea of how many things had to be gone through, this video started out as 4 hours and 45 minutes, and I've condensed it down to 20 minutes, and that's including like the fun little intro and then at the end the credits and titles and everything. So it does take a while to do these videos, and my hat is off to people that can get them done quickly. But I don't have that much of an excuse for not getting them done, other than, I mean, we do a lot of work on the plane almost every day, and then we were off for a week. But other than that, I mean, this has been a pretty luxurious time of being able to work on the plane and not have to go to work, since, it's Robert's off season, and I'm taking time off, and yeah, so it's kind of nice. Let's see what's going on. Still more sorting, and looks like Robert is going to be doing some, oh, he's going to use the melting tool thing to cut the vinyl along just away from the holes so the skin can stay protected while we do things like dimple and calico and all that good stuff. But yeah, in a later video I actually get to do some of that, and that's actually pretty cool. I don't mind that part particularly. So yeah, a lot of precision work, and it looks so fancy whenever those strips are cut off along the holes in the skin. So as you see, we're going along. Robert is working on the skin. With the blue tape, he's actually covering holes that he is not going to be dimpling in the next step. And it's actually a really good way to make sure that you don't screw up and either dimple or countersink. Basically, you put tape on it, you leave the holes alone. That's pretty much the way to remember it. It's like the chastity belt of the plain skin. So I'm over there sorting. You see Robert's going along. I came over to help him because the size of the skin and the way that it wobbles, it can flex some and cause some weird deformed, I guess, for lack of a better term, part of the skin, which can later affect the flying part of the whole having a plain thing. Wow, okay, words are hard apparently today. And then, oh yes, you can see here the DRDD2 is on its own little stand now that is perfectly positioned to go between the tables. All of the casters at the bottom of the tables have locks on them, so you can lock it in place, and you can use the DRDT2 to dimple everything, and it is nice and flat on the table. One of our tables, the one completely covered by carpet, that is stapled on there, so it's pretty permanent. The other table, that small strip of carpet, is what we had left over, but it works great for covering part of the table and being able to slide materials around so they don't get scratched up or damaged, because scratches are bad. Scratches can lead to areas of the skin or parts that can corrode faster. And I mean, you can scuff it up and prime it, but you really don't want to have to do that all the time. So it is better to be gentle with your plane. And speaking of priming, there are some parts that require it. So let's do some priming. Here is the paint booth that Robert built. Super lightweight, easy to move around. It's got some plastic netting in it. Underneath has cardboard, so we don't get spray paint or any other, any of the painting stuff we don't get on the ground. We've got the wind blocks up, made of scrap wood, and actually the front piece of wood, if you see the drawings on the panel, that is actually the template for the cradle that will eventually hold the wings. That was perfect, thank you. So I couldn't remember exactly what part it was, but Robert motioned that it was a wing holder template. So yeah, it was a little bit of a windy day. You can see by the spray going and the rope on the side. But really overall, this setup worked very well. Like I said, it's portable, and we don't have to have one area of the shop currently we don't have to have one area of the shop permanently blocked off just for painting, or blocked off just for painting. There are some really cool paint booths that some of the other builders that we watch their videos that they've done with the plastic sheeting and PVC, and some people really get into it. But so far, this has worked for us. Again, we haven't had to prime too much. We'll see what happens, and yeah, so that's priming in a nutshell. So now we're going to step back from painting, and it's time for some bandsawing and grinding and some paranormal coffee cup activity. So be sure to keep an eye on the mug on the table as things are going to happen. Right, so this workbench, it has grown since this video. I mean, the bench itself hasn't grown, it's the same size, but we have the bandsaw, we have the belt grinder, and now we have a drill press and a fancy overhead light that swivels, and it is super awesome. And currently there is another piece of equipment, but it's not a Ryobi piece of equipment, so I don't think it's gonna stay there. Plus it's nice having that extra corner free, so because workspace is always good, and being able to put your coffee cup somewhere is also a good thing. So, yep, Robert's going to be working on some stuff here. I come over, I move the ladder around. Oh, also, we have moved to using a tripod instead of the ladder. We'll probably actually use the ladder with the GoPro still, just because if the Canon 7D is on the tripod, then we still have to put the GoPro somewhere. But can't use the GoPro until I'm done downloading the video from yesterday. And yeah, so anyhow, oh yes, you can see Robert is sporting some of his pair of fancy hearing protection. I also have a pair. Mine are pretty, mine are teal, and they really make a difference, and I probably should wear them more often, but I don't think about it until power tools have been being used for a while. But, you know, it happens. I'm sure eventually, over the next however long it takes to build this plane, I'm sure eventually I'll remember to put headphones on before actual power tool use starts. Alright, so keep an eye on that coffee mug that's in the middle of this table. As grinding happens, you see it's turning. I'm not going to say it's related to the grinding or anything like that. I'm going to stick with my story that it's paranormal activity. Yeah, so I have been terrified to use the grinder because I'm klutzy, and I've been scared that I'll hurt myself. But yesterday I finally broke down and decided to use it, and it wasn't bad. I actually really enjoyed it. But I say that about pretty much everything that I do the first time. The first time it's great, and then I go back and I try to use it again, and I'm just not as good as I thought I was. But that's okay. It's all still a learning process. I'm sure it will be a learning process for years to come, and I'm okay with that. So yeah, so if you notice the whiteboard behind Robert, it has day 8. We'd been doing good about keeping track of what day of the build it was, and then I forgot, I don't know, I saw something shiny, got distracted, and now I'm just going by the video numbers, because we did take time off for Easter, we did take time off to go to New Mexico, so it's just going to be video, video, whatever, and hopefully once I get caught up on all of these, I really want to try to get out a video at least once a week, preferably more, especially if we do video every day for hours like we have been doing. Because this is a pain, going back and trying to watch everything and remember all of the pieces that were either cut or riveted or anything else. Yeah, so, bear with me, trying to do better with that. And I also, I need to do some writing. I need to get caught up on our blog. So, but I know the trend this day and age is for videos. So hopefully people, if you do like these videos, please like them, subscribe to our channel. It really excites us to see those numbers going up when we get a new subscriber. We have views and we have likes. We put a lot of work into this. Also, if you are thinking about building a plane, if you have no idea if you ever want to build a plane, or if you are building a plane, or you have built a plane, or if you've somehow just stumbled across this channel somehow, please comment on this. We will read them, I promise. Robert commented on one of the videos today, and I read it because I wasn't reading it over his shoulder when he was writing it. But please, we do put a lot of work into this, and it would be awesome to know if there are any comments or questions or suggestions from any of you. So again, thank you for watching. There are going to be a couple of pictures at the end of this video of all of the teeny tiny things that I sorted. So yeah, and if you have any questions for us, we can, feel free to ask. We'll answer them to the best of our abilities. Yeah, so great. Thanks for watching.